Hey Mets fans, how's it going? Hayden here. And in today's video, I will be going over my top 5 favorite players from the New York Mets going into 2021 and how ambitious I am to see them play. So let's stop wasting any time and dive right into it. So first on today's list, on the 5th spot, I have Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz has quite the time with the New York Mets. 2019, well, that was a separate story for another time, but 2020, Edwin Diaz started to avenge himself. Diaz looked electric on the mound this year. Looking at his saves aside, Diaz strikes out batters at an elite rate with 19.3 strikeouts per 9 innings, which is the best in the leagues, and is cutting down on his home runs per 9 innings at 0.86 compared to a terrible, yucky 2.33 in 2019. Ugh. Diaz has a nice mix of his fastball and slider combination to get hitters out. I think the biggest concern with Diaz is how often he plays is what we see to be the issue. He does start as the closer 3 days in a row, which gives him a lot of issues. I think giving him a fair amount of days off is a good manner for him, especially now that the Mets have some new bullpen arms to help support him. I don't think he will need to start majority of the ninth innings. I think Diaz, he could start maybe 1 out of the 4 games, 2 out of the 4. I think Edwin Diaz having rest, that's a big thing. Hopefully we could see him come back to the 2018 Mariners style. That is my goal for 2021. So fourth up on today's list, we have Andres Jimenez, who was probably one of the biggest surprise for the New York Mets this year. He displayed a great glove during this season and took over the starting role at shortstop. His bat was also a surprise, with a slashing batting average of .263, an OPS of .732, 31 hits, 3 homers, and 12 RBIs. And Andres Jimenez led the team with 8 stolen bases. Jimenez has proved himself and the league that he belongs in the big leagues. Yes, his bat isn't super great, but I do think his glove makes up for it. Plus, he's very young. He's only 22, so he definitely has plenty of time to make up for it. And as I said before, his glove and his speed makes up for it. It's tremendous. Jimenez and Rosario will definitely compete for that shortstop role in spring training, so that's going to be great to watch. I think Jimenez has a great, bright future with this team. I'm super excited to see what he has to do. He is so fast. He's just so great at what he does. I love this guy. I'm super pumped to see him in 2021. I could see him definitely winning a couple gold gloves down the line. I know shortstop is one of those big pack positions, but Jimenez, I think if he keeps doing it, I think he could definitely be competing up there. So third up on today's list, we have Michael Conforto, who actually was on the MLB All-2020 second team. Michael Conforto had a marvelous breakout season this year, and he is starting to show his highest excellence. In 2020, Conforto had a batting average of .322, an OPS of .927, 65 hits, 9 homers, and 31 RBIs. Those are some mind-boggling numbers just for a little under 60 games. Conforto had an MVP caliber season. Many around the league have been waiting for his breakout. And this past season, he displayed he could hit left-handed pitching while cutting down the strikeout percentage, as well as he has been hitting the ball more to center field. Michael Conforto has been cutting down on pulling the ball, which he has done well over 40% of his plate appearances in the 2 prior seasons. Conforto would be a great cleanup hitter, probably around the 4th spot most likely in the batting lineup. Conforto is looking very bright for his future, and I definitely could see him being a 2021 All-Star. Conforto, he has some high stuff coming, and I know we saw this type of stuff in 2017 until he unfortunately got injured, but I think now it's his time. You see him out there in right field making these crazy plays. Michael Conforto, this guy is exciting.
And he drives one, deep right field. Back goes Eaton, it's over his head, and the Mets win the ball game! Michael Conforto with his...
So second up on today's list, we have Jeff McNeil, a.k.a. the Flying Squirrel. Yes, Jeff McNeil did seem a little lost at the plate this season when he was battling injuries from crashing into the wall at Citi Field, making the great diving catch. So that kind of made his hitting not is accustomed to what we were used to seeing. But Jeff McNeil 2020 season brought him to have a batting average of .311, an OPS of .836, 57 hits, 4 homers, and 23 RBIs. Even in a down year, Jeff McNeil hit over 300, and he started to come back in late September when he was recovering more from his injuries. Jeff McNeil's defense is a whole other story. Going into 2021, he will most likely be thrown at second base due to Robbie Cano's suspension. He stated also that he prefers to play there due to it being his original position, and he could see the ball better off the bat on the right side of the field rather than the middle or left. The team's defense will improve much better with McNeil playing at second. McNeil is a great leadoff hitter. You could throw him first or second in that batting order. McNeil will do a lot of great stuff for this team. He could help the offense and defense carry this team. Next season is looking really bright for the Flying Squirrel. So first up on today's list, we have the one and only Jacob deGrom, or as I like to call him, Jacob DeGoat. Jacob deGrom had a marvelous 2020 season. He remained a consistent asset who provides managers with an elite strikeout total and ratio. deGrom finished the 2020 season with 4 wins, 2 losses, an ERA of 2.38, and a whip of 0.56, as well as 104 strikeouts, which he led the whole entire league in strikeouts. Jacob deGrom posted an average fastball velocity of 98.6 miles per hour, which was in the top 1% of all baseball pitchers. deGrom's adjustments in pitches has also been boosting his excellence, such as his average velocity and spin rate is going up by speed. Heading into the 2021 season, deGrom will be a lights-out lockdown guy. Jacob deGrom has a whole couple seasons ahead of him, so let's just sit back, wait, and watch. Jacob deGrom has so much to offer. Alrighty, and that is the end of the video. I do know I did not add Pete Alonso to this list or people like David Peterson, but I think the thing with Pete Alonso is I already made a whole separate video, which I will leave a link to in the description, about how I think he will bounce back in 2021, so I figured, I may as well include someone else that I'm not going to make a list on. So, yeah, I made a whole other video and some other stuff about Alonso in 2021, but I think Pete Alonso, he will have a great bounce back season next year. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.